Hello. Oh, wow. The decibel levels here are kind of high. What's up? Eh. Okay, we just started. Just make sure everything's working. Um, I'm just Is it showing? No? Let's try properties. There we go. What's up, guys? I had no idea what the what to label the streams. I'm just putting it like that. I guess I'll share this to the social media world. I don't even have like a I don't even have anything in mind to talk about, I guess. So that's why. I'm gonna leave this up so I can look at chat. Okay. All right. Yeah, hope you guys are doing well out there, whoever tunes in. I don't know how many people could tune in after the fact, but I usually like having the streams saved. It's kind of why I like streaming on YouTube, is because you can save the streams easier than Twitch. Unless Twitch made that easier, I don't know. Whatever. I was just watching this video. I guess I'll just continue.
It's 8:30 p.m. Thousands of people.
So I've been keeping more track. I don't know. I go in these weird, like, times where
In the town of Rolling Fork, Mississippi,
I'm just
are completely
like
unaware of what's
pretty
coming straight
interested in a
for them.
specific topic. If you guys are unaware about, like, last night there was a bunch of storms, bunch of tornadoes, all that shit, like in the Midwest of the United States. I've been watching some, and even before this storm system even manifested recently, I've been like, I don't know, watching tornado channels. Tornado TRX is pretty good, I guess. Sweggle is another one.
Buzzing with anticipation on Tuesday as they spotted a high chance for severe weather developing in the southern United States. While not entirely unusual, the predictions caught the attention of weather enthusiasts and professionals alike. So what was the culprit? Well, a trough was situated in the upper levels of the atmosphere. A trough is basically a long line of low pressure, and it's known for its potential to spawn violent storms and tornadoes. The trough was set to sweep across the country, and by Wednesday, it became clear that something was brewing down south. The Storm Prediction Center, or the SPC, issued an enhanced risk warning, a level 3 out of 5.
It seems like there's always shit going on in this area. I wonder if it's like just high risk. Maybe it's because it's like right by the Gulf of Mexico, or Gulf of America, whatever it's called.
Around the Louisiana and Mississippi border, a rare move
It's right by the Gulf. I
SPC
wonder if the
to
moisture
release such a
contributes to
warning
all that
so
shit.
early. Though it hinted at a storm, the actual danger remained uncertain. Unfortunately, the people in the region would soon learn just how severe the storm was going to be. As the situation developed, The SPC ramped up the warning to a rare moderate risk and an even rarer 15% hatched risk for tornadoes. And to clarify, this didn't mean a 15% chance of tornadoes happening, but rather a 15% chance of a dangerous EF2 plus tornado occurring within 25 miles of any point. With the increasing likelihood of some sort of tornado outbreak, thousands of people began to prepare. Meteorologist Reed Timmer tweeted, concerning forecast for Friday, with a tornado outbreak possible with potential for strong to violent tornadoes. This one has a potential for big problems. Despite the ominous warnings, many residents in the southern states were not paying much attention.
Severe storms at this hour and a real concern tonight over these long-track tornadoes possible in several states after dark.
And then throughout the overnight, we're looking to get into central parts of Tennessee and maybe even Kentucky, so be aware of that.
The town of Rolling Fork begins another day, with many people off to work. Businesses such as the local animal shelter are open and active.
This was only like a couple years ago too.
Owners a few days prior.
2023.
Things running as a typical morning would on the ground, but up above.
Actually,
the clouds,
almost exactly 2 years ago. It was March 24th, 2023.
something
crazy.
menacing is brewing. The air was very unstable. A tool meteorologists use, called water vapor imagery, indicated the trough was getting stronger and moving quicker, while warm, moist air from the Gulf was positioned almost perfectly to crash right into it.
Okay, so yeah, the moisture from the Gulf contributes a lot to this.
By around 5 p.m. local time, thunderstorms were quickly maturing in Louisiana. The unique aspect of these storms is that although they are currently quite chaotic, they are all spaced out and they're full of energy, creating perfect, powerful environments for something bad to occur. All they needed to do was maintain momentum to the east, where they could hit favorable conditions to start spinning. When storms start spinning, you consider that a supercell. And what
Oof.
makes it super is rotation. When a storm rotates
We
extremely
really see, like, where I live, we don't really see supercells that much. And I think that's because of, like, maybe the common path that troughs take, just in general, maybe.
extreme weather anomalies.
I have no idea.
like
I
hail,
don't know
bursts of
shit.
wind,
I'm just a
floods,
dude.
Very powerful lightning, and of course,
I don't know anything.
tornadoes. A tornado watch was issued at 5:15 p.m., covering an enormous stretch of land between Mississippi, Louisiana, Arkansas, and Tennessee. Judging by how disorganized, the
Actually, you know
storm
what? It
was,
reminds me. There were actually 2 EF2 tornadoes that hit where I live, around where I live, I should say, like, maybe, I don't know, a year ago or something, which is extremely uncommon, it feels like. We just really don't get tornadoes.
people were slowly getting antsy about if anything was actually going to happen. The storm still needed to move into an ideal spot of low pressure, but it was impossible to tell if they actually would. Additionally, moisture and heat energy that supercells strive on was diminishing as the sun set. That was until one particular supercell.
See how the
became
audio
visible.
is.
Two for this particular cell. Again, very close to Highway 1 here.
The intriguing supercell soon became menacing as it visibly expanded and was rapidly spinning while producing large-size hail and rain. Based on radar data, the National Weather Service decided to issue a tornado warning. This large tornado warning stretched multiple counties across Mississippi, but that supercell hadn't actually spawned a tornado yet. Even still, the radar showed a rotation signature, or a tight point where 2 contrasting wind directions meet. This essentially shows
Yeah, I read this morning that on stuff like this, if there's red and green, that means wind is moving in opposite directions from where, like, the thing is registering, I think, which suggests a tornado.
extremely fast rotational motion. At this point, it was literally a matter of minutes before the supercell would produce something.
Damn.
At 7:57 p.m., a debris signature occurs on the top of the velocity signature. This blue dot here is part of a measure called the correlation coefficient. It essentially shows things that aren't supposed to be in the clouds, and since the color is very different, it's currently signifying things like trees, dirt, and even chunks of people's homes. This was
Okay.
unmistakably the start of a tornado. The very weak tornado started in the middle of farms, tearing up nothing more than a couple of crops. Soon, it crossed its first major road, Egremont Street. As if driven by some sort of supernatural force, the messy, weak vortex gained intensity with an alarming speed, first turning into a barrel shape before morphing into a tornado wider than it is tall. Storm chasers were now here capturing images of the tornado, and cross-referencing this footage along with damage analysis, we can predict the tornado's inner funnel was over a quarter-mile wide at this point, with its damaging wind field stretching over half a mile. Experts consider this a wedge tornado. The combination of both storm chaser sightings and destruction evident from radar imagery prompted the National Weather Service to issue a very rare tornado emergency around a small town northeast of the storm. This town was Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Right now, the tornado was almost completely invisible to the naked eye, as heavy rain.
Yeah, these tornadoes that come at night are pretty dangerous. I was also looking at Rolling Fork. This is October 7, 2023. This is just horrible. You can see all the... I mean, that is just insane. You can actually... I mean, the damage is still there. When was this satellite taken? 2025? This city is still recovering from this. No, well, I mean... The satellite shows that being the case, but this was taken in October 2023. Wow. This was months after, not like too long ago. Wow. You can kind of maybe figure out the path it took. It looks like it took out like the north. Maybe like the north part of it town, maybe. Like these houses looked pretty much intact, I guess. This was before 2019. Wow. Yeah, you can kind of see from these satellites like the difference. Wow.
Mixed with a pitch black sky obstructed it from any view. By 8:05, the tornado crossed its first residential area, a stretch of 3 homes along Ending Bar Road. An electrical transformer explodes, producing a large blue light, also known as a power flash. This was the first sign the tornado was both in an inhabited area.
That's something I want to look up. A supercell thunderstorm that is particularly intense and dangerous, characterized by a rotating updraft, high winds, large hail. Often accompanied by visible... Okay. How is that... How is that or how's that really different from a normal supercell, though? Wow, we're digging into the weeds here. Oh, what? You can define a word just by highlighting it? That's kind of cool. I didn't know you could do that. This, oh. Okay. So, okay. I thought I don't know. I don't know anything.
And also causing damage so violent it was literally ripping metal apart. This home on Ending Bar, closest to the core of the tornado, has its roof completely torn off, but the tornado is still intensifying. The projected path of the tornado had it technically skewing northeast, where it would only brush the edge of residential areas and not even make a direct hit through the town. However, just after crossing Ending Bar Road, the tornado deviated more to the east, setting up for a perfect impact on the Indian Bayou subdivision. The tornado was only strengthening from the...
And you can see that here. Hold on. So he's saying that it would potentially projected to go up north here. So these... Looks like these are mobile homes or something. But it actually went further south and then it maybe climbed up north and then east again.
From this point forward, it crossed into the road of the subdivision at almost a perfect bullseye, wiping every single home on the street off of its foundation. Trees in this area...
Damn. Oh, he's talking about like over here. Yep. Look. Oh my god. Is there a map for that? doubt it. Nope, there is. Look at this. Oh my god. Whew. Literally, wait. This is September 2023. This is months after. This is the only, apparently this is the only, Google Street image, too. Wow. That's horrible. That is just horrible. So all these homes are just like gone, dude. I mean, like not all of them, but like almost all of them. Damn. And you can see it there too, man.
Became so damaged that the literal bark was ripped off. Images afterward showed that signs had their paint stripped off. And unfortunately, the first several indicators of a catastrophic tornado were seen here.
So like, how strong do the winds need to be to like rip paint from stuff? How strong? Okay. Ben. I don't know. Something like that. Needs to be at least an EF2. That's lower than I thought, I guess. Wind speeds 111 or 111 miles per hour to or greater. EF zeros and ones are considered weaker. They cause moderate damage. Damage like broken windows and roofs. EF2s are like considered significant. EF3s are just strong that cause severe damage. And well-constructed homes. EF4, EF5 are violent that cause incredible damage, leveling homes. Okay.
Damage to the trees and home in the subdivision being rated EF4, the second highest rating for a tornado.
Oh,
Multiple
well,
people
there you go.
were trapped under rubble, and at least 2 people died on this street alone. The tornado was just getting started, however. From these homes, 2 structures across the highway were impacted and completely destroyed. The tornado was moving so quickly at this point that debris it picked up from the structures was being slammed into homes not even in the direct path. This debris would completely destroy the roofs and walls of these homes. The edge of the town itself was getting closer and closer, and unfortunately, the carnage seemed to only continue. As the first street here of the town was impacted, every one of the over 27 homes sustained intense damage. At one point, the vortex lofted up a semi-truck here before slamming the vehicle into the home of the Pierce family. The truck instantly killed both Lonnie and Melissa Pierce, beloved members of the community. At the same time,
Wow.
storm chasers spotted something interesting orbiting the vortex. At the base of the rotation, a bright pair of lights were seen spinning. At first, the lights do a full circle around the vortex before showing up again much higher in the air. It was clear that a car was actually
Oh
running
my
and
God.
visibly being thrown by the tornado. People speculated that it could have been something else, but nonetheless, something large and bright was seen orbiting the tornado as it entered the town's edge. Even though the town had
I mean, what
barely
else-
been hit yet,
what could it
hundreds
even
of
be, though?
homes had already been decimated before the tornado had even finished intensifying. The tornado's path deviated north slightly before crossing onto Colette Avenue. Here, multiple brick structures were torn to rubble, and the core of the tornado began to suck the grass out of the dirt. Hundreds of storm chasers captured images and video of the tornado at this point, and the absolute mammoth of a size that it was. But something they also noticed was the speed. The tornado tornado was moving at a speed of over 50 miles per hour, with wind speeds of up to 190 miles per hour. For context, an EF5 tornado, the highest on the scale, has speeds of 200 miles per hour, which means this tornado was only 10 miles per hour away from being the strongest tornado possible. Two metal industrial buildings on the edge of the tornado's path looked more like a nuclear explosion site.
What the fuck? Are you talking about these ones? Oh, those are parking. Oh, I'm not on the right one. Jesus. I don't know, dude. That is just unbelievable. Oh, he's talking about this. Yeah. Whew. Yep.
A tornado, and of course it hadn't even made it past the center of the city yet. 12 people died before the tornado crossed Deer Creek into the heart of Rolling Fork, Mississippi. Here, it would cause its most catastrophic damage yet. The town's water tower is torn out of the ground and bent in half like a chopstick. The concrete the tower was bolted to is crumpled and bent. Multiple large semi-trucks and 18-wheelers are picked up, twisted and mangled, and then slammed into homes and buildings at highway speeds. 200 feet away from the water tower is the home of Damien Harris. Damien was aware of the weather.
Actually, yeah, where is that water tower? Shouldn't be that difficult to find. Most small towns in America have water towers. Like looks like a water treatment facility. Okay, I guess I can't find it. Oh, right here. Dude. Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
But was out of town for work while his parents stayed at his home. A couple hours prior, Damien's mom called him, telling him to stay at work as the weather was getting significantly worse. Because of this call, he stayed, but by the time the tornado was over his home, he began increasingly concerned over his mother because of her lack of response. This lack of contact prompted him to rush back to Rolling Fork, but unfortunately, debris from the water tower, paired with the extremely strong winds, completely destroyed his home before he could get there. His father's back was severely broken, and his mother tragically passed away before he could get to her. While this was just one instance, the tornado was basically covering the entire town, and the same tragic story was being repeated for almost every single home there. Around the block, the town's animal shelter, with dozens of animals inside, collapsed to a pile of rubble. The damage here was marked as total destruction of an entire building. Two buildings next to the shelter are also wiped away, with nothing remaining, ironically including the town's funeral home. From here, hundreds of...
Something I don't always think about. I thought about it earlier. Like a tornado going through these cities, like going through a graveyard and all that, you know? How the fuck does that work? Like, are coffins, like, dug up from the earth or something? If it's, like, a strong enough tornado? Or maybe it's, like, maybe they're buried deep enough that that wouldn't happen? I don't know.
homes continue to be
Probably
severely
that. Probably
damaged,
wouldn't be
destroyed,
strong enough.
and horrifically killing multiple people. A section of the town, populated by many businesses, is the next victim. Multiple well-built businesses are ripped to shreds, including Chuck's Dairy Bar, multiple industrial and construction buildings, and actually most compelling of all being a Family Dollar, which marks the point of the tornado's worst destruction. The Family Dollar was so violently ripped away, nothing remained of the building except for the ground in which it stood on. A similar
where? This isn't a big town. This shouldn't be hard to find. So the business area is like right here. Might be like right there, maybe. I don't know. Service Lumber Company. They were rebuilding kind of quick after the tornado. Damn. Maybe that was maybe.
Being a Family Dollar, which marks the point of the tornado's worst destruction. The Family Dollar was so violently ripped away, nothing remained of the building except for the ground in which it stood on. A similar effect happened to the Dairy Bar. However, it was not nearly as well constructed of a building and had a much worse rating. A storm chaser here was injured as well, and his car was completely totaled after he miscalculated the trajectory and ended up in the direct path.
Yikes.
By 8:06 p.m., the last victims of Rolling Fork were now being impacted by the tornado. Devastatingly, a large mobile home park with dozens of residents was hit straight on at peak speed, turning the once nice neighborhood into a junkyard. Dozens of people were killed in their homes right here. The tornado finally exited Rolling Fork at 8:10 p.m. Calculations provided that all of this destruction and every fatality in the completely destroyed city was done in 3 minutes. That's right. All of the fatalities, all of the destruction, 3 minutes. For 20 minutes after Rolling Fork, the tornado went.
It's like pretty insane when you think about it, because like it's a small town in America, right? But like this, you know, building shit, planning stuff a little bit out, logistically, all this shit. It takes years, probably, right? It takes years to like build up, and like in an instant it could be just torn down. It's crazy.
Through completely rural terrain. It looked to be the end of the horror, as radar imagery showcased a much weaker tornado than before. Well, at least that's what the residents of Silver City were hoping for. Silver City was a small community northeast of Rolling Fork, and it was now in the direct path. A tornado emergency was placed, and Silver City, while much smaller than Rolling Fork, was primarily inhabited by very poor civilians, most of whom lived in mobile homes, one of the worst possible structures to be in during a tornado. As the twister approached, the intensity of rotation on the velocity scans looked ludicrous. The tornado wiped through the town and obliterated almost every home in the community. Luckily, after that, it weakened.
That's no way, dude. That's insane. He said Silver Creek, Mississippi, right? I guess. I don't know. Let's hide that.
Immensely, and the worst damage it produced after Silver City was the shattering of windows and some occasional roof damage along the homes situated by highways before it disappeared into the trees. 22 fatalities were estimated by 11:10 p.m., and immediately after the tornado subsided, search and rescue efforts began. Multiple storm chasers flooded in as essentially first responders. One man was trapped under the rubble of his home for 30 minutes before a group of rescuers heard his screams and dug him out. As many realized both hospitals were destroyed in Rolling Fork, the University of Mississippi's Medical Center partnered with police to establish a temporary field hospital at the town's National Guard. All that was left to do was wait until sunrise. For most, March 24th was just another Friday, but for the citizens of Rolling Fork, it will be remembered as the day thousands of lives were demolished, ruined, and devastated as a tornado destroyed an entire town. As of today, Rolling Fork has been visited by the president, as well as hundreds.
Yeah. Oh man, this shit's crazy.
Violent storms that threaten tens of millions of Americans.
This was last night.
this weekend, already wreaking havoc
Hey, that's
in
me.
parts of the Midwest. Missouri saw the worst of it overnight. At least 5 people were killed. The National Weather Service says at least 5 tornadoes touched down, including one in St. Louis. This morning, tens of thousands of people in Missouri are without power, and St. Louis County is in a state of emergency. And the threat is not over yet. More severe weather is in the forecast today across the Mississippi Valley and Deep South. Jason Allen is in St. Louis. Jason, tell us more.
Michelle, good morning. It's a much cooler morning here in St. Louis this morning, a little bit breezy. You mentioned the power outages. You can see, though, behind me, the power is on here in downtown area, and at least...
Yeah, there was let me see. There was a like tornado that ripped through Rolla last night. Is that the latest image? Yeah. This city over here. This is a populated city, I believe. Uh, 2020, almost 20,000 residents. I mean, well, that's slightly smaller than where I live, but yeah, that's wild. Ooh. This was the city that was hit last night.
where we
Well, I should specify that's not the only city that was hit last night, but that one I happened to see.
are, no extensive damage. But this was a violent storm system as it rolled through, and as you mentioned, in some communities around the city, it proved to be deadly.
Sheets of rain and torrents of hail,
Ooh.
piling up in some areas nearly a foot. The city of St. Louis feeling the full force of a massive storm system stretching from Canada to Texas. Hours earlier, the punishing winds toppled trucks and gutted buildings in Franklin County, about 50 miles west of St. Louis.
Currently, there's a couple of different building collapses in the area. We're going through assessing the buildings, making sure that they're all clear, that all the occupants are out of the building. We've had a couple of injuries that have been transported.
We are in downtown St. Louis. As the storm is in extremely intense rain, you cannot see the arc anymore. There is hail falling, and the tornado sirens are now sounding again across the city.
The severe weather was so dangerous, it forced the staff at our St. Louis affiliate, KMOV, to take shelter while still broadcasting.
Wow, big hook echo on this.
Let me tell you what he said a few minutes ago. This happened when we were evacuating to the first level, okay?
And I'm going to highlight on radar exactly where it is.
In this area.
The storm system caused mayhem throughout the country's midsection Friday. 3 people were killed in car crashes caused by a dust storm in the Texas Panhandle. And the high winds...
Yeah, I forgot about that. There was also a bunch of shit going on in Texas. Yeah, there was like wildfire risk yesterday too.
50 fires across Oklahoma. One homeowner in Oklahoma City lost the house where she had raised 2 children and 4 foster children.
Every Friday night we sat down and had movie night on the couch. Kids reading to me every night for 30 minutes on the couch. We had lots of great memories. Yeah.
You guys have to remember, like, with these storms, like, even if it like doesn't affect you. First off, this is a really insignificant like storm that hit last night, but like also these are like hundreds of thousands of people. Well, I don't know that for sure, but there's like tons and tons of people whose lives are completely uprooted because of this. Like, imagine losing your home from like a tornado, or your community is just eviscerated from whatever. Dude, it's like people's lives are just turned upside down from this.
While the recovery has begun for some, millions of other Americans are preparing as the storm system tracks east. Emergency officials are urging people to take the threat seriously and seek shelter.
Last time around we had 2 elderly people that was in a mobile home, and the mobile home was actually turned upside down, and so they were trapped in the home. RVs, mobile homes, please get out of those and seek shelter.
You know, you hear the description of that damage, even as we were trying to make our way to some of these impacted communities in the overnight hours. It was still difficult to get there. You have that debris, you have overturned trucks, there are trees down, power lines down. Sheriff deputies telling us they're still trying to open some of those roads. Dana, I don't think we'll know the full extent of the damage until we get some daylight a little bit later on this morning.
Yeah, and obviously, as just said, that is a lesson to everyone going forward this storm may reach to take it seriously. Jason.
I'll be right back. Just 1 second. This is really funny. I haven't seen this shit lately. Egg prices down under Trump. I've seen this dude before too. Great to see American consumers winning with lower egg prices, thanks to Trump's policy. Thanks to Trump? What did he do different? What did he do differently that drove egg prices down? This is what happens when you have a president that puts America first and supports small businesses and farmers. MAGA is working and the results are showing up in our wallets and at the grocery store. That's amazing. That's amazing. Stop socialist tyranny. Interesting. This is just like a bullshit fucking headline though. So if something goes down by like 0.00000000001%, they'll say egg prices down, gasoline down, inflation down. They shared something. Oh, dude, they shared something yesterday that just like grinded my gears. It was something to this effect. And everything. This is, by the way, if you're unfamiliar with Leading Report, they're like a right-wing outlet. This is insane! Look at this framing. Look at this framing. Reporter hits President Trump in the face. It's not like it's false, but like there's a wide range of what this sounds like. Reporter hits Trump in the face could sound like he slaps or punches him when it was just a gentle mic hit, which looked to it have been an accident. This is just fucking crazy, dude. That wasn't the one I was thinking about, though. That wasn't it either. Some of this shit's just crazy. The news has actually been so crazy. And usually I would usually cover it, but every day it's kind of like a new thing that, like, what is even the point? Like Trump saying he's going to annex Greenland. It's just like another one. It's like another Tuesday, another Friday. Like, what? Wow, this account posts a lot. Oh, was it? Maybe it was. No, it wasn't that. It was maybe it was this. Wait, didn't I? I think I commented. I don't know. Oh, yeah, it was this one. They said inflation is in decline. Inflation rates are in decline under President Trump. The fact that that's the headline with absolutely no clarification, like nothing, is just insane. Inflation went down by 0.2%. So first off, inflation was going down already, but second off, it went down by like 0.2%. And third off, like, economic trends lag behind policy. Trump's been in office less than 2 months. How can we say it was because of Trump? They're, like, implying strongly with this framing. I don't know. Kind of wild. Kind of wild. There's no way this is true, right? There's no way this is true. I just don't believe this. I'm gonna look it up before I show it you guys. Actually, nothing surprises me anymore, actually. Nothing surprises me anymore, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's true. Oh, okay. It is true. Not surprising. Just had to do a little fact check. Minnesota Senate Republicans introduce a bill to classify Trump derangement syndrome as a mental illness. Cool. If you question our cult leader and say that he's bad, you have a mental illness. Oh my god. This is just stupid, dude. Why are we... This is dumb. Who cares? It was introduced. March 17th hasn't happened yet. What? I think we're getting played here. Maybe it's going to be proposed on that day or something. However, it's important to note that Trump derangement syndrome is not recognized by official medical diagnosis or the APA, or include the DSM, or blah 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 blah. The term is largely a politically charged label used by Trump supporters to dismiss criticism and irrational. You know, we know that. We know that. That's just how it goes, though. It's kind of crazy. Like, there's a new crazy thing that happens every day. And I can't peruse Twitter, like, live, like, because there's something I can't even, like, show on stream for whatever reason. Like, the site has become really bad in that respect. Is this even true? I need to... Let's fact check. They're saying that the price of eggs is down 35%. That's what Trump said, I mean. Uh-oh, Perplexity has gone woke. It's saying that the claim needs context. Why do we need context? Whatever Trump says is obviously correct. Like, why are we even... What the fuck are we doing? While wholesale egg prices have indeed fallen significantly in recent weeks, the 35% figure is not entirely accurate based on the most recent data. Well, this could be out of date too, right? According to the USDA, the average wholesale price for a dozen large white eggs has dropped from $8.64 on March 5th to $4.90 as of March 14th. This represents a decrease of approximately 43% over a 9-day period, which is more substantial than the 35% claim. It's important to note that wholesale prices don't immediately translate to retail prices. Consumers may not see the full extent of these price drops in grocery stores right away. That's kind of interesting. I didn't... Okay. Despite the recent decline, egg prices remain significantly higher than historical averages. Well, it's going to take some time to get that number down because of the bird flu. The price decrease is attributed to factors such as reduced demand due to previously higher prices. Okay, that makes economic sense. Fewer outbreaks of avian flu and the improved production. While the wholesale price drop is significant, retail prices in February were still increasing, with the BLS reporting a 10.4% month-over-month increase. While egg prices have indeed fallen sharply, the specific claim of the 35% drop in last week is not precisely accurate. Okay. Lovely. That's amazing. Yeah, I've seen that claim tossed out a couple times here, and I just didn't know if it's true. It's kind of important to know that. Okay. This seems like an impartial opinion. Okay. Wait, hold on a minute. This for real might be like a super impartial segment from famously bipartisan Sean Hannity. Hold up a minute.
Probably, in all likelihood. And according to reports, they are now planning to take this show on the road, and they want to have town halls in Republican districts across the country. You may want to go. Might be entertaining. You might have a few questions for them. I would ask that you not be like them and be polite, but beware if you are in a conservative area of the country, which is most of the country.
Look at them holding their... Okay, sorry, that's
a radical Democrat might be coming to a venue near you to spread their message in support of men.
These Democrats are going to spread their communism. Do you guys remember how, in like the 50s and shit, the whole idea of containment was to contain communism globally? Because if it was found in one country, it's going to spread to the neighboring regions. It's kind of the same deal here with Democrats. Like, they're going to go to these Republican districts. They're going to spread communist ideas and shit. So just keep that in mind. That's why you have to, like, go into these town halls just, like, keeping that in mind, I guess, because they're all clearly very, very, very communist. That's just
and they're right to play women's sports for open, probably in all likelihood. And according to reports, they are now planning to take this show.
That's crazy. That is insane. Democrats going to Republican town halls to spread their communist ideals? That's crazy. Okay. I saw like this poll recently that had like what's this that had Elon Musk, his approval rating was worse than like Trump and Vance combined. It was like -21, which is pretty unbelievable.
So, and again,
oh, we got my buddy Tim Waltz here. Let's go.
I got to be honest with you.
Let's
again,
go.
I got to be honest with you. They hate public education. I think they hate it for the reason we all know in here. It's easier to run an authoritarian government if you don't have a population that knows. So again, obviously I don't have all the answers, but I think it's appealing to people's sense of decency again.
Is he in a red district right now? Where is he at doing this?
You know, I should be careful about that. I thought a message that we should value all people and we should have an immigration policy that adheres to the law but adheres to humanity. And they talked about eating dogs and cats and they won.
That's because there's a lot of reasons for that, actually. Think about it for a minute. The party that said Haitians are eating dogs and cats won the election. Think about that for 2 seconds, okay? How far gone are we as a society where candidates that say that unironically are winning elections? Now, I don't really blame, like, Waltz necessarily for that, but, like, that's kind of pathetic if you're, like, a Democrat. If you lose to that, okay? How does that... What does that say about your party?
And so I myself am soul searching when I hear this. How in God's name, of all the money that's being spent and all the tax cuts they're giving, we can't fund those interventions that we know make a difference in millions of children's lives? I can't believe America wouldn't go for that.
Well, you gotta reflect on yourself, I guess. Or something. Is there like a whole... That might be worth my time. He was in Iowa? Is there like a whole speech here? Oh, here we go. I don't know how much of this I'm going to watch.
Wow, God, it's beautiful. But the part that shook me the most is I got to see the governor's office.
Okay.
It's huge.
Now we're cooking.
It's way too big for the small ideas that are coming out of it. Way too big.
So he's in Iowa. Where specifically? Des Moines? Okay, that's like liberal central.
Lord.
I have no idea if it is or not. I'm just saying shit. Oh, I'll be right back. I gotta...
Now look. If we
Tell me if he says anything good.
won an election last fall, we wouldn't be in this mess. So I'm here to listen too, because I'm not assuming that it's all Democrats in here, because I was out on a farm last week and it sure the hell wasn't all Democrats. But it was people that were really irritated about the tariffs and the trade war with our neighbors. And there's a responsibility in this time of chaos where elected officials need to hear what people are irritated about. And I would argue that Democratic officials should hear the primal scream that's coming from America is do something, damn it. This is wrong. This is wrong. And independence. And there's nothing conservative about an unelected South African Nepo baby firing people at the VA. And for our Republican neighbors now all of a sudden are like, I wanted my 401k to go down. I wanted this, you know. This idea that you would be okay. Can you imagine if President Barack Obama had brought his unelected African friend to cut? You know what I mean? How they think to cut the government. This is wrong. And your member of Congress is there to be your voice, is there to to push back. So we're not here, and I'm not here to criticize and to personally attack Representative Nunn. I congratulate him on his service, unlike the other side who finds the need to criticize everybody and attack and do all that. That's not what we're here for, but you were hired to do a job. And that's the questions that we want to ask. You need to answer the questions about the things you did. Why is it okay for President Musk to do?
Have you got the Green New Deal yet? What's happened? What's going on? I had to get something to eat. I'm
Do what he's doing. Why is that okay? Why are we fighting a trade war with Canada that Donald Trump negotiated the deals on and now doesn't want it? Why is that? And why?
Because he's a gay
why
loser.
Do
That's
billionaires
why.
get to tell us you're going to have to endure a little bit of pain. Well, we wouldn't if you'd pay your taxes. We wouldn't have to. We wouldn't have to. And so I would say to you, Rita and I are going to take questions and hear from you, and I don't think it's going to be that different than I'm hearing from my constituents about trade wars, about Medicare and all that. But this is what your representative needs to be here for. Because if they were proud of what they did, it's very hard to find an elected official who doesn't want to be in front of a crowd or a camera. When they...
For the context, by the way, if you need context, Republicans publicly said that they're not going to be attending town halls anymore because they were getting booed out and like raked over the coals for being incompetent losers. So they just said, yeah, we're not going to fuck with this anymore. We're not going to listen to our constituents anymore. Are you kidding me? We're just getting ass fucked if we just do that. They hate us right now. We're not going to talk to them. We're just going to do what we want to do. So that's why he's doing this.
You know something's up. And the something that up is, even people who voted for this didn't vote for what they're getting. They didn't vote for the crap. Because if they did, and like I said it, I know Iowa, we're pretty similar. We share Norman Borlaug. This is like a family reunion when Minnesotans come to Iowa. You know, we talk our smack. You play football better than I wish you did. Those types of things. But there's traditions. And I got to share one with you. I got a chance in 2019 when our Gophers were undefeated for the first time in 100 years, you know, to go to Kinnick Stadium. And I got to stand there, though, after the first quarter and wave and do the wave. So my question to your representative is, why did you vote to cut cancer research for children and then go and wave at the people who were there? Why? Why? So to each of you, we've got work to do. We've got work to do to figure this out. I also believe that empathy, compassion, and decency can win the day. But my wife, who is a 29-year public school teacher and administrator, I always recall her two sayings when she would send our kids off the door to go to school. Good friends and good learners every day. Sometimes they were neither, but sometimes they were both. True, one or the other. But she also said, don't ever mistake our kindness for weakness, because we stand up for those without a voice. So Iowa, thanks for having me. Again, I'm here to bring the megaphone I have to you so you can lift it up and hopefully he can hear what you're talking about. And I also recognize I don't have all the answers. If I did, we wouldn't be in this goddamn mess. We would have won in November, but we didn't. So now we get the opportunity that Americans get in every generation to renew the democracy and renew the republic. We get the opportunity to move us forward. We get the opportunity to push back against those forces who want to take those things that make America great. Because I'll be goddamned if we should ever again see a vote at the United Nations when it's North Korea, Russia, and the United States standing.
So far, so good. From Waltz. He's connecting with the people there. He's hold on one second. Connecting with the people there. He is saying that we got work to do. Decent relatability. Yeah, so far so good, I guess. I'm just trying to check something before I move forward with this. Okay, we're good, we good.
So with that, let's go.
Okay, Governor, we're going to jump right in because, you know, you had a lot to talk about right there. And so here we go.
I was in Congress, too, by the way, for 12 years, and I did town halls, just so we know.
Okay, all right. Okay. So
I would never go back there again. No.
Okay, so just to be clear, though, you have not been given any of these questions, have you?
I have not.
I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows that
Is
this
that a
time
thing?
it's
I
all
wish
in.
they would.
No, yeah.
Huh.
So our first question is going to come from a gentleman by the name of Patrick Kearns. Patrick, can you make yourself known?
Where's Patrick?
Here? There, right there. Can we get him, that gentleman, a microphone, please? Here
Come on,
he comes.
Patrick. Let's go, Patrick. All right.
Thanks, Patrick.
My name is Pat Kearns. I'm a registered nurse, and I've proudly worked at the Iowa City VA Medical Center.
Democrats have such a great opportunity here to like position themselves as like pro veterans because Republicans recently just cut like what 81,000 jobs from the VA or something. That's crazy. Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, let's go.
I spent 30 years of my career making sure that veterans get the care that they deserve and all the care that they deserve. The Secretary of Veterans Affairs says he wants to cut 83,000 jobs.
That's even more than I thought.
16% of our workforce. Looking at a facility like Iowa City, that's 300 jobs out of the 2,550 employees that work there.
My boy's got the facts. He's got the facts here. He's got the numbers.
We cannot survive that. And I think that is the goal of
Yep.
the Secretary of Veterans Affairs and
Yep.
Elon Musk and the president, because then they can point to the system and say, look, it's hopelessly broke. And those forces that are out there that see that money and know that they can make a profit off of it, like United Healthcare, are waiting in the wings to say, oh, we'll take it all. And you can shut down the system wholesale. I guess I'd like you to discuss how important events like this are, where people speak out publicly to try to get our representative, for instance, is Marionette Miller Meeks, who is also strangely absent from the town halls that we've been holding in Iowa City and Davenport, and we'll be holding 4 more in the next week. That there's nothing. It's radio silence.
All right, first of all, thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, thank you, Patrick.
Yeah, first, this is my
Patrick
point.
seems like a cool
If
dude.
you went back to those 77 million people who voted for Donald Trump and you asked them, do you want to cut care for veterans in this country? I would guess a large percentage of them would say, no, we don't want you to. So this is a case, again, of they didn't vote for this stuff, but they're getting it.
Well, it's not only that. Medicaid, Social Security, they're going after very popular programs that's even within their own party. Their own party loves Medicaid, Social Security, which makes sense because those are 2 good programs, social programs. Not just that either. Those 2 just came to mind, but there's also the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, who has like a 71% approval rating from Republicans. They're just cutting literally everything. They're cutting everything. And it doesn't matter what's in their wake. They are just cutting
Now,
everything.
in full disclosure on this, 2 things. This is not that unusual for Republicans run on telling you government doesn't work and they get elected. Prove it. That is what they're trying to do. And this one is personal for me. Personal as being a veteran, but I served as the ranking member on the House Veterans Affairs Committee. And I know that, Patrick, this is not conspiracy. There's plenty of it out there. The goal is to privatize the VA, to send that money elsewhere, to get it out there. They continue to talk about this. Now, look, it sounds really good. You've got a veteran in Spirit Lake that doesn't want to have to drive over to Sioux Falls or up to Minneapolis. Can they just go on the local economy and get it done there? Much like school vouchers, if you do that, you gut the core VA. And the core VA is the only place doing research on prosthetics, doing research on traumatic brain injury, things like that. And you start to undermine the care veterans are getting. Now, I think this is something we don't do a good enough job of saying. People will support.
I'll let him finish, but I'm not going to watch the whole thing.
The veterans. But if you ask them about the VA, they don't connect that a large number of those 80,000 are veterans themselves, but they also don't connect this part. The VA is the best healthcare system in the country. That's not fake. And here's the thing. The VA trains over 80% of the physicians that serve in this country. The VA's research arm, the VA's ability goes far beyond. Their top priority is care for veterans. But they do all of the peripheral things. They have the biggest impact on healthcare in this country of any other system. That's not me saying the VA is better. That's the folks at the Mayo Clinic saying the VA is the best hospital. So this is real. Do you know that great organizations aren't like buildings? They're the people that work there. And they're telling you, these 80,000, well, they're not doctors. No, I just heard from someone who said this. They canceled a contract that does the inspection on the radiological department, which means if you can't get someone in to inspect that, they can't use their MRIs then, and they'll set silent. They're gutting and destroying. This isn't them running the government out of gas, because if that were true, we'd win an election, we'd pour gas in it, and we'd chug on down. This is them running the government out of oil, like running your car out of oil. They're breaking the systems. And what I would say to Patrick is, the VA is one of our strongest pushbacks to this, because I guarantee you find me a member of Congress who sits at a town hall and would answer that question and say, well, Patrick, those people just aren't working very hard, and besides, we don't care if veterans get care or not. They'll never say that. You can't find a politician who won't stand in front of a veteran. They won't stand behind them, though. And this is an issue of, do you stand with veterans? If you do, you should not have voted yes like your representative did to cut the VA. That's that simple.
Okay. Yeah, decent decent answer there. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. I don't really have time to watch the whole thing anyway. I don't know if I can show this on stream. Do I want to... How triggered do I want to make myself today? How triggered do I want to make myself?
This is...
I guess we'll give it a whirl.
Oh, for the...
I think I might, like... I think...
the Browns press conference room active was yesterday when...
I might, like, actually start twitching from this. We'll see. Again, I don't know if I can show it. I guess I just won't for the safety. For just to be sure, but...
He introduced Kenny Pickett to the Cleveland media, and Pickett says he believes he's a starter in this league, fully is aware that a veteran is coming in, and sure enough, the irony in the building was a guy who showed up in the building in Pittsburgh this time last year, and Pickett's like, get me out of here. Now look at it.
Oh, man.
Russell Wilson's presence in Pittsburgh was the reason why he said, get me out. And he shows up in Cleveland, who acquires him from the spot that Pittsburgh deposited him because he wanted his exit visa. And now Cleveland acquires him from Philadelphia, and as he's being introduced in the building is Russell Wilson. Okay. And in the building talking to Russell Wilson about becoming a Cleveland Brown, apparently, was none other than a guy who, as of 1 week ago today, we were talking about with Tom Pelissero, asking to speak to the owner of the Cleveland Browns, and was told, no, you may not have a meeting. And we were talking about Jimmy Haslam's sourpuss closed-door policy.
You'll get nothing like it.
Oh, my God. Oh, no. Okay, maybe I'll show it. Oh, my God.
And within 48 hours, we learned about Jimmy Haslam's open wallet policy. And the closed-door policy, and the apparent door that Myles Garrett had closed, because he thought the door had closed on being able to win a Super Bowl championship in Cleveland, had closed. And Myles Garrett yesterday was telling Russell Wilson Cleveland's a great place to play.
So what's the point?
Join us and help us win. As the guy who showed up in the AFC North last year and went from 4-2 and 10-3 for the Pittsburgh Steelers was in the building, just as the guy who asked out of his previous building in the AFC North because Russell walked into it, was meeting with the media talking about, I think I'm a starter. What the hell's going on in Cleveland is basically what I'm saying.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
I don't think I missed anything.
Well, here's the difference here, okay? You just want to see what you want to see. That's basically it. I mean, like, the Browns have always made themselves very clear in this whole process with Myles Garrett that they were not going to trade him, okay? As the owner, it's not his responsibility to meet with Myles. He needs to, and apparently it worked, because, like, first off, he was already in lockstep with AB. So what's Myles going to do meeting with him in the first place? Number one. Number two, Jimmy Haslam meeting with Myles just undermines AB's authority as a general manager. Number three, apparently after declining that, he went back to AB, they continued talking, and they hammered out a deal. And he sold on the plan that they pitched to him. And that's one of the reasons why he accepted this offer. Now, was it just playing chicken the whole time and he just wanted a bigger contract after Crosby signed? Maybe, but I mean, I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But yeah.
What's going on? Thank you.
So today, Myles Garrett is showing up. And he's introduced to the Cleveland media as the first $40 million a year non-quarterback in the history of the National Football League.
Actually,
and there's a circle that needs to be squared.
What?
That circle was the wagons during Super Bowl week of Team Myles Garrett, around Myles Garrett, saying, hey, if he sits down, you're going to ask him about his trade demand. And the answer that came back from this very mouth was, yeah. And Myles kindly showed up to our program 2 days after announcing via his channels that he wants out of Cleveland. He's asked out of Cleveland, and he wants out of Cleveland because he thinks you can't win in Cleveland any longer. And he wants to go somewhere to win, and he showed up and basically said he wants out.
So what is the point?
As a $40 million a year player in Cleveland, saying
he was always going to get a big contract. So I don't...
in part, that talking to shows like this one helped get him this contract.
Oh my. Is he really going to take credit for Myles signing a contract that we were always going to offer to him anyway? Like, we already made it clear we're going to pay him, like, top of the market.
Dude,
where's
hold on
our...
a second. Hold on a minute. Hold your powder, sir. Hold.
Okay. Influencer.
Hold. I mean, there's a feather you could have knocked me over with this morning when I heard this soundbite at his press conference when he was asked about that whole "you can't win here" thing and how should that sit with Cleveland fans now that you're here still.
Well, what happened was,
roll it.
Like I said, I mean, that media road run, that created more discourse between myself and management. That created conversation between myself and AB, Jimmy, and up and down the chain, and that kind of stuff became a main variable for this deal getting done. These conversations down the road.
Since there were these toy dinosaurs.
Cool. Now we're cooking.
Or enjoying the dinosaurs that I loved as a kid. When I wound up being taken by my parents and my school to a trip to the Natural History Museum of New York City, I would buy those. My God, it was great. I love the Stegosaurus, Triceratops. I digress.
They also had dinosaur cupcakes.
Buy him some cupcakes?
Sure. Is there?
All I'm wondering is, listen, Nicole, he's referring to Nicole Lynn, his agent. Do I get a cut? I mean, he said it shows like this one that started the process, which is kind of not what we heard on the day of the interview.
So, I really hope he's kidding, because that is really weird if he's, like, serious about this.
It's like a smidge, like 0.5%.
Just saying.
Wet my beak?
Yeah, a little bit. I like toy dinosaurs on the
kind of, it's actually kind of disturbing if this is how he sees the situation. Legitimately disturbing, by the way. Like, I don't even know, like, I don't even know what to say, to be honest.
Like cupcakes.
I love you. Listen, I explained it before. We all have a number. We all got a number. Certainly when you're staring in your face. 4 or 5 months of holdout hell. Who wants holdout hell? No one wants holdout hell. No one wants holdout hell. The Browns don't want holdout hell. The player doesn't want holdout hell. The agent doesn't want holdout hell. No one wants to be in that holdout hell. Because that would have been the conversation all week long, is who's trading for Myles Garrett and who didn't trade for Myles Garrett and why didn't they trade Myles Garrett and shouldn't they get the draft choices for Myles Garrett? And that may be a conversation down the road. And the same thing with Myles Garrett, too. Conversation down the road if the Browns don't perform well this year or next and they're in the quarterback hell. The Pickett / maybe Russ plan that couldn't coexist in Pittsburgh suddenly could coexist in Cleveland. I guess that's what taking a victory.
Do they actually think we're going to sign... Does he actually think we're going to sign Russell Wilson? Excuse me, sir? Do you not remember the bad juju between Russell Wilson and Judy? Sir, are you having amnesia here? Because, like, it's all but clear they're not going to sign him. They're just doing this shit to get Kirk Cousins. I mean, if they sign him, that would be crazy if they signed him. But it's highly unlikely. It's just like a leverage play to get Kirk Cousins.
Victory formation in Philadelphia can do to a guy. You know? That whatever they couldn't coexist in Cleveland, and Pittsburgh could coexist in Cleveland, but that doesn't work out. And then Deshaun's coming back saying, hey, I got it repaired Achilles in a $40-some-odd million one-year deal that's left, and why not try me one more time? Give me the opportunity you gave Pickett and Russ. Let's see how that goes. And if that doesn't work out, maybe they get Cam Ward anyway.
What are you talking about? What? He's probably going to be PUP'd for the whole year. What?
He's lurking behind the
You actually think Watson's going to, like, maybe start? First, he's not going to be available in the beginning of the season, first off. And second off, more than likely, he'll just be PUP'd, and then we get an insurance payout for that.
Racine. And then he's there when Deshaun is raising his hand saying, I got a repaired Achilles and all that sort of stuff. And if all that doesn't work out, then they'll come back to Myles and say, is the $40 million worth it?
I think he actually thinks that's the plan. Oh, wow. Okay. All right.
And his answer probably would be, sure it is. You know what? Have you seen my home?
What do you mean?
You know? But all that said is it still won't erase Myles saying, no, it's always been about winning here. It's never been about the money. After the money arrives, after he says it's only about the winning. And it's a very difficult circle to square.
So he said in his press conference, this happened after the press conference. He specifically said that he likes the plan at quarterback. He likes the plan they gave him. That's one of the reasons why he signed the contract. It wasn't just because of the money. Sure, that's a big factor, sure. But, like, that you need to consider the other shit, too. He said he liked the plan. Okay, cool.
But that's something he can deal with. He's as I saw in person, a very big dude. He can handle it with a thick skin and an armor, and he's going to the Hall of Fame and all of that stuff. And, you know, he can live with it. But he's going to have to, because this is the conversation that's going to be had about him. Especially, you know, when he was asked point blank if a Super Bowl needs to happen in order for the contract to be worth it.
Kind of a dumb question, though, because that's I don't think I can show these clips, but you can, I mean, every player signs a contract hoping, okay, that by the end of this contract, what you get out of it is a Super Bowl, because ultimately that's what you're playing for, right?
I want to root for. He just was sitting there and he thought to himself, this sucks. We're not going to win here right now. And you know what? I'm hanging out at the Pro Bowl. I'm seeing everybody coming off of their championship runs and then talking to the Eagles that are there. And, you know, I want out. And then the Browns say, we're not letting you out. And here's $40 million a year. And who was listening to me would say no to that? You know, I get it. I totally get it.
Why do you think that's the only reason he signed the contract? Are you fucking mad? Have you lost your mind, sir? You think that's the only reason why he signed the contract? It's because of the money? I'm sure that's a big factor, like I said, but like the only factor, the literal sole only factor in him choosing to play in Cleveland or accept that large contract was just because of the money? What?
And now he doesn't have to answer these questions anymore.
You realize he has a minority stake in the Cavaliers, right? Like he's embedded himself in the city.
So I've answered them, and as he said, did you hear what he said to Russell apparently when he was asked what was your sell pitch to Russ to come here, and he says, I want to have to put you on the ground 3-4 times a year. You know what I mean? It's just,
come here and I won't hurt you.
By the way, it's a very effective approach.
I sold.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, Uncle, here's the dotted line. Yeah. Especially since I'm not going to be sitting around waiting for Aaron Rodgers to make a decision. Russ can jump. So, you know, and the plan for Browns fans, they might be sitting there going, is his heart really into it or not? He's going to sack the free world, and you're going to enjoy it. The question is, will there be more W's than L's in the standings? And how?
If that's the calculus that needs to be made, Um, Defensive end is the second most important position in football, okay? Myles Garrett is the best, probably the best defensive player in the league. We signed him to an insane contract, right? Now, I understand that previous years, you know, with Myles Garrett, we've only gone last season we won 3 games, right? Can you still, as far as like the W and L columns are concerned for this contract, I don't think that's really relevant because, you know, we've always seen Myles as like a franchise player, like he's our cornerstone player on defense. So that doesn't really matter. The thing that matters is getting a quarterback, which we can very well do at 2. You know, Browns are picking second in the draft, so it's totally in the realm of possibility. So in other words, I don't really think this matters, to be honest, as far as why he signed the contract.
How will that affect Myles Garrett down the road? Do you care about down the road now in 2025? Probably not, but in 2025, what is going to be the situation at quarterback? Period, end of story. And now Myles can, when he was asked about this I've been asked it, I'm done. We went through the...
Is a false statement, because he specifically said he liked the plan that they had, and that's why he signed the contract. Well,
question
that's one of the
principle
reasons.
today in which some of the answers don't square the circle, but he'll go home and just turn the page and be Myles Garrett. Good dude in the community, good dude in his world, and I'll be waiting for my cut.
If Russ signs, does Kenny Pickett want backseats on the trade?
Maybe
Or
he'll go to Pittsburgh.
So this entire segment was based. Why did I even watch this? What did I gain from this? The only thing he even said was, I guess Myles is staying in Cleveland. Well, if he's doing that, I should get a cut of that contract because I helped him come to that decision. That's basically this whole video. It's basically a whole video. And then going, LOL, Browns thinking of signing Russell Wilson when Kenny Pickett and him were like butting heads. It's like, okay, what a waste. Why did I watch that shit? Some small part of me believed maybe value would be gained, but well, I guess not. Okay. I'm actually interested in doing something. I want to run some mocks. Let's run some mock drafts here for the Browns. Let's do some cooking here. Some good old Southern style cooking. Let me pull up. Okay. Cool. So Browns are on the clock at... Oh wait, no, not. Now they are. I'm just gonna restart because there's no fucking way in hell the Titans are taking Travis Hunter first. There's just literally no way. They could take it dual Carter though, so I guess we'll roll with that. Okay. Browns at 2. Well, it's pretty obvious. This is like, if they take Carter, that's like the best timeline imaginable. It's pretty obvious. We'll just go Cam Ward. That's easy. That's easy money. Easy. Ooh, baby. Amarian Hampton and Nicky Memori gone at 33? Well, that sucks. Darius Alexander's too old. Zabel, maybe. I do like Trey Armor, though. I can see a trade back as well. I'm gonna go with my third option, because my first option here would be... Wait, actually, is Donovan Jackson gone? I don't see him. That could actually be a pretty good... No, he's available. Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, okay. Donovan Jackson's a great interior dude. You could also potentially be like, I guess, he could potentially be a tackle too, I guess, but I don't know what to say about that. Elijah Roy, that it's unrealistic at 67, I guess, but he would be fun to pair up with Cam Ward. But on the other hand, Benjamin Morrison is a good prospect that is young. He had that hip surgery, but like, how much does that affect? How much is that going to be like a problem, I guess, is the question. I kind of like Elijah Arroyo here, though. Ooh, Kevin Winston is good as well. Very young. That's kind of AB loves the young, highly athletic players. Kevin Winston Jr. is definitely fits inside that mold there. But I'm gonna go Elijah Arroyo. I think that's a good pick. So we got our quarterback, tight end, and a guard who can maybe play left tackle. Marcus Rumble might not be here at 94, so I'm just gonna pretend he's not there. Tez Johnson, what? At 92? That's unbelievable. CJ West could be good. The thing about him, though, he wasn't. Oh, he was pretty high RAS. His height is 6'1", though. 316, that's a good weight. Speed is pretty good. Explosion's pretty good. Arm length is decent. Overall good. But there's just size. It's not like, I don't know. He would fit pretty well in our defense. That's kind of the thing, right? Apparently has shorter arms for DT. But that's pretty athletic as well. I like Andrew Makuba as well. I think he's a good one. I think Jacob Parrish could be good. Actually, what's his athletic score? 8.73, that's pretty good. Arm length? 30, he has short arms. He's like a T-Rex. He's gonna have to play slot. The height, 5'9". Ooh, he is tiny. He is tiny. It's definitely gonna be a nickel at the next level. Makuba I like. I think that's a good pick. What shall we do? We don't have a running back yet, but we can get that a little bit later. I'm gonna go Makuba, I think. Oh, we can still get Devin Neal. That's pretty cool. Caldwell, because the Browns cut Dalvin Tomlinson, I think Caldwell could be a good nose tackle replacement. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not like super high on him or anything. Kobe Bryant, ooh, that would be interesting. We already got safety though. Isaiah Bond could be kind of cool, but oh, Jared Wilson is another. We're gonna go Jared Wilson because he pretty athletic, young. Wait, how old is he again? I don't know. Overall, a pretty good prospect though. Jared Wilson, definitely, and like Whippler has been kind of MIA because of injuries, so Danny Stutzman is no way in fucking hell making it this far. Apparently, he's a liability in coverage. I don't know if that's fair. He's a good run thumper, though. Oh, fuck it. We'll just go. Oh, yeah. Emory Jones is not going to be available here. There's just no way. But we'll play the board, I guess. Jordan James could be fun. So we'll go that route. Dean Clark is another one that we'll run another sim. Afton Kism is also fun. Holland Pierce could be maybe good. He's just kind of fat. We'll go. We'll go. We'll go Kizum. We'll go Kizum. Who else? Who else? Where's that one dude? Where's Thor? Where's my boy Thor? There he is. Yeah, we gotta go. We gotta draft at least one DI. Pretty much have to. Cam Ward, no trades, by the way. Cam Ward, Jackson, Arroyo. How do you say his last name, actually? I don't know. Makuba, Wilson, Stutzman, James, Kizum, Thor. That's decent. Thor is pretty cool, if you don't know about him. Or Griffith or something. Yeah, from Louisville. Hold on one second, I'm gonna rename. The thing about doing streams like this is like there's no good title for the stream. Manage videos, yeah. Okay, to sum up, Cam Ward, number 2, fixes quarterback. Jackson, solid prospect. He probably will go in the first round at 33. That's pretty good. Elijah Arroyo to pair up with Cam Ward. A good tight end 2 spot player. That'd be fun. Maybe an eventual Njoku replacement. He's getting up there in age, but I would love for Njoku to play as long as he can. Bakuba, safety. We just cut Juan Thornhill, and McLeod retired, and De'Anthony Bell actually signed recently as a special teamer for some team I forgot. So the safety room is kind of depleted. Jared Wilson, because he's a solid center prospect, maybe a depth piece long term. Stutzman, great linebacker. JOK health is kind of a concern, so I want to get some insurance there. We did sign Devin Bush to a 1-year deal, so that's that. Jordan James, we don't know if we're going to re-sign Chubb, but even if we do, is he going to return to form? Blah, 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 blah. We need some more running backs long term. So there you go. Afton Kizum, the third. Elijah Moore is going to be a free agent. Or he is a free agent, I should say, so we might not re-sign him. And then Thor Griffith to add to the line. Pair up with Paul Jr. Hopefully, maybe he does well. We'll figure that out later. Okay. Running back, baby. Ooh. Can go Cam Ward again? What? That's incredible. Nicky Mamori? Oh, okay. It'd be nice to have Nicky Mamori, but apparently he is consistently going in the first round, which sucks. Okay, we'll go a different route. We'll go... Keyshawn Juggins could be fun. Or Streppel could be fun, too. I just feel like offensive line is really important. Gray Zabel is definitely an interior dude. Donovan Jackson feels like the best prospect there, but Zabel is ranked higher. Yeah, I'm gonna go Donovan Jackson again. So we're just gonna replicate the same shit. Benjamin Morrison is gone at this point, which is interesting. So we're gonna go Kevin Winston Jr. We're gonna... I don't know. CJ West, we can get at 104. I'm gonna go with Devin Neal first, and then CJ West. We still got some picks left. Maybe Jonah. I don't know. Possibly Jonah. John Williams, maybe. We don't have a tight end, right? Nope. Connors could be fun. He's a really good blocking tight end, apparently. Good size as well. Let me double check, though, make sure his size is, like, commensurate with what PFF has, which probably won't be, but we'll figure that out. Jalen Connor is a 9.21 RAS, and he's like 21 years old or something. This is interesting. He's 6'3", 260. That's good. That is good. What's his issues? We don't know. Texas Tech. His measurables are pretty good. UDFA? Excuse me? He was ranked in the top 75 overall process by 247 coming out of high school. That's fun. Elusive after the catch. Impressive on deep routes, able to separate. He's a versatile offensive weapon, capable of lining up on the inline, in the slot, or even as a wildcat quarterback. He's played multiple sports, so... I like him. I'm sold. Let's go. Let's go. Quarterback, guard, safety, halfback, defense interior, tight end. Quarterback, guard, safety, halfback, defense interior, tight end. Zeke Biggers is probably going to be at like a DE. I think he has pretty good length, right? Something like that. 35-inch arms. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is an interesting spot. I'm not really sure what to do. Maybe another DI, I don't know. He's a linebacker to defensive tackle convert. 6'3", 308. He lacks the build and strength to be a full-time starter, but he should hold up as a depth piece. He has trouble holding up against double teams. That's kind of the opposite of what we're looking for. And there's no way, by the way, Tyler Shaw is going to be available at this point. Just unlikely. It could happen, yeah, but it's just kind of unlikely, I think. We'll go Prather. Maybe. He's a big body wide receiver, day 3, so I guess that's fine. Jake Majors is fine at center. Miles Frazier could be fun, but we'll just take Jake Majors. We don't actually have a tackle, so I guess Holland Pierce. I think Holland Pierce should be gone before this, by the way, just as an FYI. So a little bit different from last time, but Cam Ward, Donovan Jackson, Winston Jr., Devin Neal, CJ West, Jalen Connors, Caden Prather, Holland Pierce, and Jake Majors. Okay. You gave me a C+ for that? That's kind of weird. Are they going to take Cam Ward? Nope. I'm not going to take Cam Ward, though. I'm going to do something totally nuts. Just nutty as a fucking squirrel. Like, complete insanity. Would they do this? I mean, they're not giving up a first, so that's kind of cool. That's just nutty if we can get that to pull. So if they don't take... Here's the thing about Tennessee taking Abdul Carter. If they take Abdul Carter, we have our pick of the litter for quarterback, and we know that the Patriots aren't going to take a quarterback, which means that you're going to guarantee yourself either Shedeur or Cam Ward. If you can cheese some extra picks out of that if the Patriots are interested in moving up. That is homemade cooking. So obviously the Browns will take Shedeur Sanders there. So you get 2 second-round picks. That's pretty cool. Connerly, I feel in my heart will be taken in the first round. I'm also not like super high on him. He's good movement skills, very young. Actually, what's his RAS? Connerly, just curious. Pretty good RAS as well. Oops. His height is 6'4". Wait, how is that bad? That's not bad, is it? For a tackle? Apparently it is. Really good movement speed. Arm length is adequate. Okay. I mean, if he's there, maybe. We just signed Cornelius, though, who's probably going to play left tackle. And then Dewan will probably be right tackle again or something. I don't know. I mean, I have no idea. I'm going to go Trey Amu. I loved his stuff there. Okay, so we get another pick at 38. Jaden Higgins is, like, actually pretty damn good. His athletic score is pretty good, too, I think. Actually, his athletic score is almost perfect. He's 6'4". He's 6'4"? Oh, I guess I should have known that. He is pretty... What do they remind? Tim Patrick. Smooth hips, quick chops, footwork, natural hands with consistency and catch away from the body, good route running nuance. Huh. Okay. Typically don't draft this high, but I'm going to go Judkins because we need a... I love Judkins. I think he's great. Ooh! Okay, Shedeur, Treyamu, Judkins. This is interesting. Do you want to go Ariante Ursary? He's pretty good. He's pretty good. Membo, I don't know what's going to be available here. It's kind of the thing. I think 67 is a pretty good spot for Kevin Winston. Like, as far as realistic outlook is concerned, I think it's pretty good. Nobody wants to trade with me, apparently. Alright, well, Elijah Arroyo is good, though. I feel like we need to build the line, so we're going to go that route, because Shedeur Sanders can play the best. You want to get the best out of Shedeur Sanders, and the way to do that is to give him a good offensive line that he didn't have in Colorado, so we're going to ding him. How is he available? What is happening here? He's not reliable in blocking, which kind of sucks. That's kind of a hallmark of Stefanski's offense. Mason Taylor is kind of the same thing, actually. He lacks true strength to create push and run blocking situations. It just sucks. Is Ferguson better? He kind of is. He lacks strength and technique. Kevin Winston, though, at 77 is pretty good. So we were able to get both of them, actually. That's kind of cool. Isaiah Bond could be good, but the thing is, like, Shedeur Sanders' arm strength isn't like elite, so you're not going to get a lot of mileage out of Bond. Like, if he's like a vertical threat or anything, you know what I mean? Deion Walker's a good potential for nose tackle. He's also pretty young, but his RAS is not good. Yeah, 4.26. The biggest problem here is his speed. His speed is shit. Vertical doesn't really matter. The arm length is good, I guess. The size is excellent. The speed is a problem. I guess there's a trade-off there, though. If you're gonna... Also, the strength is kind of bad. So he's just, like, fat. Wait, what's his weight? 331. That's better than 345. I would say because of his youth, he could be an interesting prospect, so you can just mold him the way you want to see. Or you can just go Jamari Caldwell. I don't know how old he is. You'd like to see him. Oh, he's worse than Deion Walker. Jesus. He's shorter. He's about the same weight. He didn't do any broad jumps. He didn't do the bench. Yeah, Deion Walker's a better prospect there. So we're going to take him. Even though I do like CJ West, I think that fits a lot more what our offense is designed around. But if you're cutting Tomlinson, you need to replace him. And I think long term, you want to get that nose tackle in there. Deion Walker could be that. Okay, we're back here. Shedeur. So far we have Shedeur, Treyamu, Judkins, Ursary, Winston, and Deion Walker. So I think defensively, we're pretty much fine. Actually, it's a pretty good draft. Not gonna lie, it's kind of banging. 179. Let's see what we're gonna do. There's no way. Where is this dude? He's got long arms, I get it, but what's the consensus on this dude? Isn't he like high? He's 86. He's not going to be here in the 6th round. I didn't think he would be either, but just want to confirm, I guess. What a Curtis Rourke. 181. So yeah, he might be available. Yeah, I'll take 2 quarterbacks. Why the fuck not? Why not? Connors, yeah, I like him because he's young, good RAS, and he's a good blocker. I think Connors is just a really good 6th round pick for us. Miles Frazier. Yeah. See, he's kind of good too. They're kind of harsh on him in the scouting report, though. I think his, yeah, he's pretty good. Pretty good. Decent. His speed is good. The arm length is obviously going to be a guard, so whatever. 6'5", 317. 27 on the bench. That's good. That's good. Yeah, I'm going to take him. Why is this? He might even be taken earlier, to be honest. I would not be surprised at all by that. Okay, Shedeur, Trey. That's a pretty banging draft, dude. Should we go another DI, maybe? This guy's just huge. 342, 6'6". Graded pretty well. I don't know much anything about him, though. RJ Mickens is also... They have some good safeties later in the draft, I've noticed. I've noticed that. Should we... Dude, this guy is 167. How much does he actually weigh? Does he actually weigh that much? Oh, wow. Look at that. How much does he weigh? 163. 5'9", 160. That's like borderline undraftable, actually. Like, legitimately, that's undraftable. What was his 40, though? 4.46? That's... I don't know if that's good enough to justify. Will Shepard. He graded worse, is the problem. But how many snaps did he play? Oh, he played kind of a lot. Okay. Was he not that good, like, for real? Whoops. Okay, he's 6'2", 198. 6'2", 198. So kind of shorter, smaller. We'll take him because he's a lot more pro-ready, so... I don't know. Give your guy, like, a weapon that he's used to, I guess. Traded back 2 spots, got future 2nd and a future 3rd, 38 and 77 for the current year. They got 2 and 94. At 4, we took Shedeur Sanders, which makes a ton of sense because of all the connections we've had between the Browns and Sanders. Need a quarterback, makes a ton of sense. Trey Amu, is it Amu or Amos? I think it's Amos, actually. A pretty good corner prospect. I'd prefer to get him more in the middle of the second round, but at 33, it's fine, I guess. Keyshawn Juggins is awesome. Yeah. Need a running back, too. Ursery. Left tackle, yeah. Even though we signed Cornelius, he could play right tackle. He could play either spot, but Ursery's going to be slated at left tackle. Winston Jr. is a great tackler. We do need to add to the safety spot, so... Yeah, and he's super young, too. So... Yeah, pretty good. Deion Walker, hopefully he could be more consistent in his game, but he'd hopefully be like a guy who just eats up tackles. Curtis Rourke, just add another quarterback to the room. He's a little more experienced, a little bit older, but that's fine. He's like a 6th-round pick. Jalen Connor is a good, just overall around value at 192. Miles Frazier is also exceptional value. I think Miles Frazier will probably go a little bit earlier, though. And then Will Shepard, just to give Shedeur Sanders somebody he used to throw to. So there you go. Now, we are going to do a full-on fucking draft, boys. Actually, maybe. There's too much shit to take into account is the problem. No, I'm just going to keep it to the Browns for now. There's just too much shit going on. And how come they keep taking Abdul Carter? Kind of wild. Alright, we're going to take Travis Hunter this time to change it up. They went Mason Graham? Ash and Jenny? Tyler, what is happening? Will Johnson? Alright. Here's the deal, okay? Here is the rub. Wait, they're not going to trade for... Oh, obviously they're not going to do that. What do you do, 104? Okay, we'll try to cheese that, maybe. Oh, they fucking accepted. Okay. So we got Hunter already. Now here's the deal. People have been mocking Shedeur Sanders outside of the first round. Which is possible, you know? It's totally possible. If we're at 24, the Vikings on the clock. Do you trade into the first round to lock Shedeur Sanders and get a first or fifth-year option on him? Is the question. Definitely makes sense, and you run the risk of another team jumping who didn't take a quarterback earlier, maybe the Giants or something, to get Shedeur Sanders. You don't want to risk that. Preferably, they'd like to trade with somebody in the AFC, maybe, but they're desperate, the Giants, so I guess it doesn't matter. But the Browns have a connection with the front office of the Vikings, so maybe if they did trade into the first round, Vikings would be a good, like, candidate of trading up with. So yeah, we're going to do that. Can you imagine, by the way, for a second, Travis Hunter and Shedeur Sanders on the same team? That would be insane. Okay. So we got a wide receiver who can play red zone snaps in the secondary, and then Shedeur Sanders. So where are we going here now? Defense can be a little bit pawned off here. Scatterboo at 67. Ugh, I don't know about that. Maybe a trade back. I don't know about that either. Ursery, dude, I might just like take him because he's makes a ton of sense in my opinion. Membo, I just don't think he's gonna be here. He'd be a guard, in my opinion. Jonah would probably be here too. At 67, he'd definitely probably be here. a swing man. He can be a starter at right tackle or inside as a zone rushing team. The Browns run a lot of zone rush runs, I guess. Membo has some strength issues in pass protection. I don't know if I want to add. That's kind of like a big deal, kind of. I'm going to take Ursary anyway. He's like the best lineman on board. You can stick him at left tackle. And then keep DeWand at right, maybe. Jeffrey Bassa, if I remember correctly, he's like, I don't know, like not super athletic. Okay, 6.67 is not bad. I mean, it's fine. The weight 232 is really light for linebacker. The length is also fine, maybe. Pretty fast though, 4.63. 4.63 is pretty good actually. Yeah. Hold on one sec. I don't know what to do here actually. Are we just gonna go fucking ballistic for the offense here? Deion Walker could be maybe good. I don't know, dude. It's the same shit. It's like the same actual shit. Maybe just go Devin Neal. Or actually go her. Yeah, we haven't done this dude. He's super young, really talented, and he's from Canton, Ohio, so they could probably want to keep him close to home, maybe? I don't know, I'm just fucking throwing shit at the wall. Jack Kaiser. That's good. Oh, he's actually lighter than I thought. He's also super old. Maybe Damian Martinez. But I love Devin Neal. Just going all offense, basically. Just don't see that as being realistic. But we'll do it. You know? Also, another thing too is like the offense, like worst part of the Browns last season. So, there you go. This duo is insane. If you can make that work, that's pretty crazy. Alright, now we're gonna go more defense. Jay Higgins has actually had a horrible combine. Maybe go safety. Dean Clark is from Massillon, Ohio. So, keep the guy in Ohio, basically, is the logic I'm using. And plus a safety, you can use a safety anyway. Biggers is not really a good pick for the Browns. He just really isn't. We need so much shit. We'll go with this linebacker. We need so much shit on offense. I don't know who this dude is. Who is this? Fadil Diggs? He's an edge, apparently. I don't know anything about him. Is he even on the board? He's 182, apparently, from Syracuse? Holy shit. 4.57 as an edge? Apparently his weight is 257. No. Oh, 928. 928 RAS. That's pretty damn good, dude. His speed is really good. His weight is 257. I mean, that's kind of lighter. But it's heavier than, like, some other edges. 6'4 is fine. That's a disappointing vertical, though. Broad jump is kind of cool. Yeah, we'll take him, I guess. Whatever. Actually, we kind of more need a run stopper. This guy is a good run stuffer. Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter that much. So we got Travis Hunter. Not unrealistic to get Hunter at 2 because the Browns talked about him like raved. So Travis Hunter at 2. Trade into the first round using 33, 179 to get to move up to 24 with the Vikings. Lock in Shedeur Sanders. Jump other teams who may be interested in trading up to get a quarterback that didn't in the top 10. Get a solid left tackle prospect long term in the 3rd at 67. Harold Fan Jr. from Ohio grades out exceptionally. Did pretty well even against Penn State. And I think he played Texas Tech as well, and he was pretty good. So that's cool. Devin Neal at 104. It's pretty damn good value. He's a good running back. Dean Clark from Esalen, Ohio. Safety. Need a safety. There you go at 192. And then this linebacker from Kentucky, I don't know much about, but we're just taking a linebacker as we kind of want one, I guess. And then a run-stopping defensive interior dude. And then that's it. Yeah. There we go. There you go. Alright, that's about it for now. I was thinking about doing another, like, I don't know, another full mock maybe, but probably not. Okay. Alright, kind of, other than that, I guess there's nothing else to talk about necessarily. Also, my hair's kind of jacked up in the back. Fix that. Hmm. I don't know, you want to play, maybe we'll play some, fucking video games or something. Yeah, maybe Stardew Valley. I have to change the name of the stream again, though. Actually, that's not even the only change I've had to do. I don't know. I'll probably just call it for now. Okay. Yeah, just wanted to chill today. J chill. Yeah, maybe I'll stream next week. We'll play, I don't know. We'll play a game, maybe. Or, I don't know. Okay. I'm just debating whether or not I should end stream. I probably will. Yeah, may as well. Okay. I'll end it here, but thank you everybody who watched now and later. We're gonna call it a day, but I'm probably next week I'll probably We'll play some shit next week. Just wanted to hang out today.